What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Monday, August the 31st, 2020. You ready to get started for the week? Let me know. So I'm going to wait till a couple of you jump on this morning, and I will get started with the quick rundown. Good morning, Brenda Randleman. Good morning, sis. How you doing? I saw you. Yay, it's good to see you all back in here again. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and those who jump in will jump in. Good morning, Adrienne. Those who jump in will jump in, and we will keep it rolling. Again, today is Monday, August the 31st, 2020. Before I get started, let me just say thank you. Thank you to supporting me through the last 2 weeks when it came to longer News in Motion. I never really wanted to go to 30 minutes, but it did for 2 weeks, every day for 2 weeks. So thank you for hanging in there with me. We're going to get it back down to our 12 to 15 minutes. So thank you for that. Thank you. I thought it was important to bring you all the facts, the detailed information, and not rush through it. It was that important for me to deliver that to you. So thank you. All right, so y'all, this is what we do. Many of you joined in last week when I shared with you my friend Charmy and Todd Boyd was talking about their family friend and how an unmarked black van stopped, picked them up, put them in the place. If you look on my wall, it talks about, it gives a video of her interview, of the young girl's interview. She is a college student. They had supplies in their hands to go and help people during the protest, but they were the ones that were grabbed and picked up and locked up. They had to remove their clothes. They had on orange jumpsuits, she shared. Good morning, Deborah. And so thank you all for all of you who called. Thank you, because we all made a difference in releasing that young woman. And I understand she was with 8 others, or there was a total of 8 of them, so she was with 7 others. And from her reporting, there were like 40 people who had been picked up that night. So y'all, this is what we call community. This is what we do. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling to the Kenosha Sheriff Department. Second up, Rand Paul. All right, y'all. Y'all know there was the RNC ending, whatever you want to call it, on Thursday evening. Well, he decided instead of taking his car, he had a car to take him back to his hotel, he and his wife and I guess a few friends. He chose to walk through the protest. So let's get the truth of that story there. He made that choice. And I'm sad to say, but I believe he made that choice to continue to paint that picture, that narrative that protests are mean, they're bad, they're violent, they're vicious. I really believe, I don't know, I wasn't there. This is just my own opinion, but he made the choice. He had a car to take him back. He declined the car. And then on Friday, of course, went on all the different news networks talking about how he was attacked, and no one ever touched him. They were yelling. He was actually helping a police officer get up. So how bad could it have been if he was helping somebody get up? I do feel bad for his wife, who was also in that walk back to the hotel, but he made the choice to not take his car and to walk back. Speaking of the convention, this is also on my wall. There were 2 women who came out stating, these are my words, that they were hoodwinked. But the New York Times is reporting that 2 New York City tenants, black women, say they were tricked to appearing in the RNC video. They thought they were having a video, an interview, if you will, and they understood that the video was to document their interview of their living conditions. They had no idea it was for the RNC convention. They had no idea of anything. And if you read the article on my wall, you will see all of it. So please check that out, please. Y'all, the coronavirus numbers in the U.S., there are 6,173,236 cases. There are 187,224 deaths. There are 3,425,723 that have recovered. Remember, I get my numbers from the World Health Organization, and not from the CDC. It was no accident. Yes, I'm with you, Brenda. I'm totally with you. With that said, protests have broken out again. Peaceful protests. Portland, though, has been protesting for 100 days. Portland, as of last night, they have been protesting for 100 days. And then yesterday, I'm not for sure if you caught the press conference. I did a few posts yesterday. Mayor Ted Wheeler of Portland, he isn't having it. In real time, during his press conference, the occupant of the Oval was tweeting him, taunting him, harassing him. And Ted Wheeler said, I'm not having this. So Ted Wheeler just kind of like went back at him. Real time while he was having the press conference. And then Mayor Ted Wheeler, I have to give him thumbs up for this. He actually said, you, Mr. President, you are the reason why there is hatred and division. He really did call out the occupant of the Oval. He wasn't having it. He just wasn't having it. Then, I guess I wasn't having it either. I was watching the CNN live of the press conference, and they broke away to a panel. And the panel included April Ryan. It included, 4 or 5 other people. There was the ex-police chief, I believe, who was an African-American male. Y'all know April Ryan is an African-American female. But then the rest of the, yes, Brenda, that's what he did. Then the rest of the panel were white men. And April Ryan made a point. She was the first one to speak. And April Ryan said, and I'm not going to quote, but I can give you the gist of what she was saying. She was saying, there's about to be a race riot that breaks out. She says you have the Black Lives Matter group and you have the Trumpers. And she said, and that's what's happening. And that's the narrative that's being created. And she was supporting Mayor Ted Wheeler. Well, all the white panel said, no, Ted Wheeler shouldn't have done that. He should have just been nice. It was just really like trying to water down what April Ryan said. Well, I wasn't having it. So I took to Twitter, as I do quite often, to say, I said something like, it's interesting that at April Ryan at CNN was talking about the Black Lives Matter and the Trumpers, however I said it. And I said something about, we're tired. Black people are tired. So we can't keep pacifying the occupant of the Oval. I did that last week with Kim Kardashian, how she was left out of Alice Johnson. I just do it. I may get 1 like, I may get 2 likes, I may get 1 or 2 retweets. When I posted that yesterday, and I don't know if it's the way I worded it, but I kept hearing my phone, the alert going off. I was like, what is that? I go to Twitter. I don't know how many likes there are this morning. It's surpassed 100, and I would say there's probably 50 retweets, and there's comments. I'm going, what just happened? Y'all, I think as we begin to raise our voices, that people will start listening. The thing is, we can't get tired, and that's what I want to go to next. Last night, for the win, and I'm going to jump back and come forward, go to the end and come forward. For the win, ABC played the entire Black Panther movie commercial free. Many of us were shocked on Friday when we learned that Chadwick Boseman had passed away at the age of 43 due to colon cancer. And then as people started digging, and all of us as a community started looking, we realized that he was battling this colon cancer while he was producing some major movies. I thought, wow. Now, after I got over my shock, I was literally crying on Friday. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was just like, what's happening? What is going on with year 2020? What is happening? So I want to go to the end and come forward and go to the end and say, for the win, ABC, for airing that commercial free, then giving a tribute afterwards. His last tweet, and this is where I'm going, his last tweet was, he graduated from Howard University. Senator Kamala Harris graduated from Howard University. My daughter graduated from Howard University. But his last tweet on August the 11th said, yes, at Kamala Harris, and then used the hashtag when we all vote, and then he used the hashtag vote 2020. Good morning, Mary Jenkins, vote 2020. So that was his last tweet. There were so many, from children to adults, who we all know the movie was the movie's not real. There's not a Wakanda, but there was something that was uplifting to Black and brown people, especially to African American people, to Black people. I'll just say to Black people. And there was something, we believed that we could become CEOs of companies. Not that that was the only time we could believe it, but there was an empowerment that happened. That movie was closing out, selling out box offices all over, just not just in the U.S., but all over. So here's this man, and they were talking about the legend of a king, and they were talking about the relationship that he had with so many people. For this to be his last tweet, I believe we can honor his legacy by making sure we vote. By truly making sure we vote. So if you will just allow me a few more minutes, I do a segment. I do a workshop called Politically Savvy. I haven't been able to do that this year because of the pandemic. Maybe I'll do a webinar. I don't know. But under the Politically Savvy piece, I'm only giving you the first part of it. I talk about civic engagement. I believe so many people don't understand what certain words are. And that's not a slam. Yep, HCBU love. Yep, we are family. That's right. That's right, Judge. Understanding and utilizing the dynamics of power, negotiation, networking, organizing, and empathy to achieve objectives while making an impact. That is what civic engagement means. And again, I think if we would understand some of the words, just like some of you people who were viewing this video last week, they had no idea what the Hatch Act was. They were like, thank you so much for explaining that. And I said, we focus on just the people who are running for office, that we miss everything else that goes with it. And I believe that God has put me in this season. I've been doing this for a while, but something about this season, God has placed me to really unpack things for people, to unpack things. Good morning, Latrice Jones, unpack things. And Latrice, she was actually at this workshop we did at the library on Nelson Road. So again, in civic engagement, just bear with me, I promise y'all, I'll be quick, is understanding and utilizing the dynamics of power, negotiation, networking, organizing, and empathy to achieve objectives while making an impact. I'm sure y'all see my empathy, my passion. I'm sure y'all see what I'm putting out here. This is now week either 12 or 13. I've lost count. So y'all, that's what it is understanding and utilizing. We have to utilize the tools that we have at our hands. We have to utilize the information that we already have. We have to utilize these things. It's one thing to watch this news in motion. It's another thing to watch the news. It's something different to read different articles, but we then have to apply it. So it's like, okay, we know what the post office is doing, so we need to have a plan around the post office. Okay, if that's not going to work out for me, what's my next point? Am I going to put my ballot in the drop box? Do I know where the drop boxes are? Am I going to go stand in line, depending upon early voting in my city, my state? Well, in my state. What's my plan, y'all? We have to have a plan. If I'm talking to people about voting and I find out that they have not registered to vote, what words will I use to get them to vote? So hear me. Building partnerships and alliances will help achieve our objectives. You have to come up with your own objective. What is your goal? What is your objective? What does that look like for you, for your family, for your circle of friends, for your circle of influence? What does that look like for you? Please, y'all, again, next Tuesday, after Labor Day, y'all, we're hitting the ground running. We're hitting the ground running. We're going to be coming armed with the tools and the resources now. We've been talking about this. There's all those other resources that I've given you. Factcheck.org is a go-to, y'all. It is truly a go-to. Y'all, we've got to be armed. But on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, that's next Tuesday, we have to hit the ground running. So I want to just leave you with these 5 things. Please bear with me. I'll be quick. Number one, political change within the communities. You got to think within your own community, your own neighborhood, your own street, your own circle of friends, whatever that looks like. And understand you have about 3 minutes to make your pitch. You have 3 minutes. What are you going to say? Write it down, type it out, put it on the memo on your phone. Do something with it. A few weeks ago, we were sending, good morning, my sister. Yeah, that's my biological sister on there, Patricia Laus. A few weeks ago, I was talking about write letters, use your social media to ask people, have they registered to vote? I said, share your own story to let people know why it is that you vote. Thank you for Latrice for putting that down. But the political change within your community, you have about 3 minutes to make your pitch. You really probably have less than that for especially the millennials. You have 3 minutes. I shared with y'all the guy I ran into at Target on Polaris. Pants sagging. I'm not painting a picture to be negative. Pants sagging. He smelled of weed. He was like, hey, what's up? But I took the time to have the conversation. And he now follows me on social media and he tells people, y'all, this is the woman who helped me register to vote. Because I took the time to have the conversation with him. And I know everyone can't do that, but if you can have that conversation, have that conversation. He's now told all of his friends. I mean, I get people now, my Facebook page, I can't even protect it anymore. I don't know who's on my Facebook page. But he was sending his friends to friend me on Facebook. And I just accepted them all because they were like, hey, so-and-so told me that you helped him register to vote. He was like, you were cool. We need more people cool like you. Y'all, seriously, this is what we have to do. We have to be willing to say, what's my community? Who's my group of influence? What am I going to do? You have about 3 minutes to make your pitch. All right, now here's a question. What is the political change you are going to make in the next 60 days? I think that's all we have now. I don't know how many days we even have left with that, if someone knows the exact days. But what political change? And you can do it. You can do it. And then after those 60 days, after we get to November the 3rd, what are you going to do afterwards? Begin to think about this, y'all. This can't be over at November 4th. That can't be over. It can't be over after you vote. If you vote, well, I'm in Ohio, so I'm going to be in line or whatever on October the 6th. After October the 6th, I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to make sure other people are voting and they're registered to vote. So what is the political change you're going to make? Then to inspire. What will the change mean? The change will mean something. What is it? What do you want to see? What do you want to see? Forget about the names that are on the ballot. What is it that you want to see? Identify that. Be clear. Creating a clear picture of what you're doing. What is it that you're doing? Create a clear picture of what it is that you're doing. And then communicate where you are going. This is all under number 2. So the first part under number 2 is creating a clear picture of what you're going to do. The second part is communicating where you are going. The third part is how will others join you? We can't be an island, y'all. And there are so many things already out there. Whenweallvote.org. Y'all should check that website out. www.whenweallvote.org. Tons of resources on there. iwillvote.com. www.iwillvote.com. Tons of resources on there. Tons. www.eac.gov. That's the Election Assistance Commission. That's where you sign up to become poll workers. Okay, tons. Now, some of you are saying, wow, it must be working. I'm going to register to become a poll worker, and I'm being told that they're full. Okay, so if they're full in your community or within the radius that you can work, some people can work larger radius. Some people are stuck within their initial community. But if you're in a city or a state that's allowing you to go further, do that. If you find out that they already have enough poll workers in your area, tell other people to check their area. That's how you can continue to do this. Don't just say, oh, they got everybody in my area, so I'm done. No, ask somebody else. Hey, I know you live in such and such county. I know you live in such and such district. Can you become a poll worker? They're needed in your area. This is the number you contact, or this is the website you contact. Y'all, you have to have a plan. So that last part, and number 2, how will others join you? Number 3, credibility. Challenge beliefs and shift the paradigm. Y'all, challenge these beliefs. There's code language that's being spoken. We got to challenge those beliefs. We have to challenge those narratives, and we have to shift the paradigm. That's where your story comes in. Share your story of voting. Share your story. I can't account how many people I've shared my story about my BMV experience with my driver's license. And that woman telling me, oh, no worry, you can just get a provisional ballot. Don't care. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. They're the last to be counted. And that's after they vet you. So you don't want to do that. You want everything done up front. So credibility, change the beliefs, change that narrative, and then shift that paradigm, y'all. Community. Look what we did with the young woman, wherever you are around the U.S. Look what we did for the young woman who was picked up and her friends in an unmarked black van in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We got the phone number. We knew to hit #9, and we gave our script, and they were released. That's community. That's what we're doing here. The number 4, caution. It must be believable. Please, y'all, if you don't know the facts, don't share it. Because once somebody uncovers that what you gave them was not the truth, they're done with you. So make sure you're doing the research. Again, I'm still seeing pictures on social media that are fake pictures. Y'all, there's not a picture with the occupant of the Oval and his parents in KKK uniform. That picture is false. It is not the truth. That picture is false. Regardless of what may happen, and I don't even know what that is, but that picture does not exist. That picture has been photoshopped. So know what you're doing. You can go to snoops.com or snoops.org or something, some snoops.something, and find out if it's a mixture, if it's part false, if it's part true, and then say that when you're having a conversation with someone. Please do not give out false information. When you do that, and if you unknowingly gave out false information, go back and correct it. Just say, you know what? I read this, I didn't see this, so this part of it's true. That's how you get your integrity and your credibility and your reputation built. So y'all, please make sure. So it has to be believable. And then I have on here, if it stretches too far off the current reality and the imagined future is too great, it will weaken your credibility and the commitment. You don't want those things weakened at all. You don't want them weakened at all. I am fighting for equity and health. I'm part of Don't Punish Pain. Great. Thank you, Kim Hill, for posting. And if you have a website for that, put that in there. For all of you, put links to websites in the comments so that people can see them. And then number 5, finally, commitment. You own it. Own what it is you're talking about. I own it. I own News in Motion. I own when I make a mistake. Y'all have seen my posts where I'll put like update and I'll put the update. I don't delete what's there. I just go update and I put the update to let people know this is what I said initially. This is the update. And if I have to make an apology, I make the apology, but I keep on going. But I'm always checking sources. I have several of you who have volunteered to help with research. You have been throwing articles my way along with the interns at these college campuses. I thank all of you. So we're going to be rolling over also into the News in Motion page. We won't do that until after Labor Day. So if you have not liked that page, make sure you like that page so that you will see it. I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to still do my videos here or do my videos there. I think everybody's used to this, so I think I'll still do the videos here, but put all the articles and things at the other one. So, again, my inspirational message, and I still went longer. Look at me. Oh, I'm trying to get this back down, but we're not to 30 minutes yet, and I'm not going to go to 30. That scripture, the scripture, Psalms 121, verses 1 and 2. I lift up my eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. And this is King James Version. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. I lift up my eyes to the hill whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord. Look, y'all, look up, look up. Look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help is going to come from God. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Tomorrow, I'll give you another section of Politically Savvy because I want us to be armed, ready to go come Tuesday after Labor Day. For the win, I told y'all Ted Wheeler, ABC for Black Panther. But my shout out is Ted Wheeler. He wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. And more people need to step up. More, because they're painting a narrative. The Republicans are painting a narrative that only in Democratic ran cities and states are they seeing chaos. So the Trumpers and other people, other protesters, whatever name you want to call these different groups, they're going into those cities to paint that narrative to say it's true. We have to denounce that narrative. We have to. We have to. We have to pray for everyone who's running for office. Please call them out by name. Look at the people in your city, your local district, your state who's running. Call them out by name. Pray. Ask God what to do, how to do it. But y'all look to the hills. Again, for the win, ABC, just to play that without any commercials. And then to do a tribute. Robin Roberts, you did a fantastic job with that. And then to know that man did all of that great work while battling colon cancer. And with that being said, get that checked. Get that checked. They say that's a silent killer, and I'm glad they shared that on yesterday as well. Y'all, take your health as important. Take your health as this is important. Eat right. I don't see Beverly Woodard on here. She normally puts on here. Thank you for putting there. Yes, y'all. StrahdForJudge.com, Franklin County, Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court. Y'all check her out. She's phenomenal. And yes, I approve that message. Check her out. I'm not even in Franklin County, but I'm telling everybody, my whole siblings, my family lives in Franklin County. I'm going to tell them to vote for you. Absolutely. But take y'all's health seriously. I don't see Beverly Woodard on here, but Beverly Woodard is always talking about health. Check her out. She's been in previous threads, so click her name, become her friend. She does some phenomenal YouTube videos on health and eating right. Y'all sleep. I intentionally took this weekend off, like, I'm not doing this. And I feel so much better today. Okay, y'all, I got to go over to IGTV. They got to fix that. One live should go to both. Until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. Please share this video. If you think this content will help somebody, share this video. I'm asking you to do so. If y'all want to go check out that tweet over there on Twitter, it's the one that I talk about, April Ryan. And on Twitter, I am at Gail Dudley, GailDudley. Just remove the E on Twitter. But yeah, there is just, I'm like, what just happened here? I was just supporting my sister and what she was sharing. But y'all, that's what we do. We support each other. We support each other. Speaking of support, before I go, y'all, do y'all know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars the 17-year-old has, people have given the 17-year-old who murdered 2 people and wounded several others? I believe it's up to $200 and something thousand. If someone knows that number, please put it in the comment. So if they can do that for someone who murdered people, when are we going to start supporting one another for the work that we are doing? When are we going to start supporting one another? I don't care if it's $1, $5, $10. I don't care what it is. I said last week to make sure you are giving to your local representatives, your state, to their campaign, to the national. Give. They need it. They need our money, especially on the local level. So if they could raise $200,000+, when are we going to start helping each other? Seriously. And with that said, thank you for those who sow into News in Motion. Thank you. And you can continue. That's the $ M as in Mary, I M as in Mary today for Cash App. If you want to do PayPal, you can send it to my PayPal email, which is GED, that stands for Gail Elizabeth Dudley, at insight, INSIGHT.RR.com. All right, y'all, until tomorrow, 7:25, right here, I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Get your plan in place. Peace out.